episode 5. I'd like to introduce Inna Rudenko. She is the founder and creative visionary of Inna's Designs. Originally from Moldova and now based in Europe, Inna is an award-winning couture designer with over 20 years in the fashion industry. Welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me here today.
So we've been friends, what, 3 or 4 years?
Quite a bit for, I say.
I mean, we were talking about that. Time flies.
Yeah, I want to stop.
We've Ina's great, and we've partnered with some amazing community type of events. I think we really started working together with American Heart Association, and we had a collaboration where it was amazing, right? We kind of created that dress with a former WWE type wrestler, and I didn't even think about the physical demand for holding up that dress. And talk about, people don't understand what goes into fashion, right?
Yeah, I mean, good thing we actually choose her because the strength that she had, it was amazing. To stand there for 15 minutes, just absolutely blow mine. And it's something different that we bring actually to American Heart Association. They still talk about that 3 years later.
Well, and there's been some new reiterations of it now, right, with ladies that have actually had some heart issues and bringing them in as models and doing some different stuff. So it started with us. And but I think it's great. But those are the kind of things you do. But you're a busy girl, and I appreciate your time today. But before we get into your career highlights and the passion that drives you, can you talk about your days, your childhood in Moldova, the experiences as a 6-year-old, and how you found your love for fashion and creativity and design? And share with
my!
I know it's a big story, but I think our audience would like to hear it.
Thank you. I would say I will not have that much of a childhood because I started working really young. I started working when I was 6 years old. My dad died when I was 4, so my mom being a single mom, it was really hard, and she was hustling, so I was helping her. By age 11, I already had my small boutique, and it's kind of like I was hustling really a lot. But I will say that age 8, my aunt, she was like, time to time, she was watching me, and she did a lot of like dresses for me. She was like, what do you like the bow? And I was like, oh, I like here. So that's how started my passion for fashion. I always say that. But I like to create a really very early age. My dad was custom shoemaker.
Yeah, that's right.
So he was very like creative doing the custom made shoes first sample, and then after it was a very big company for Italy and one of the biggest in our country. And based on that shoes and the first sample, it was 1,000 made it. So I was very like, it was for me, and not just only passion, but the legacy that I go after because of my dad. And
you saw the hard work, right? I mean, you saw what it took to make these shoes.
4.
And you were 4.
I don't remember I remember just maybe 3 or 4 like stages of things that was just like when you start remembering. But I remember how he was working, and I wish I did. I wish I catch that, but I didn't.
Well, something about that stuck with you, right? Because it's part of your history and the story that you're telling today with your dad making those shoes.
Yeah.
And I mean, you like to say that luxury is not just a look.
I always say
it's
that.
It's a feeling, and I love that. Can you just talk about what that's saying and explain why that's so important to you and the people that you work for?
Well, I would say I don't just make clothes because it's like the way how you make the person and the way after they put, I do the fittings and all. It's the way how they express sometimes, and they make them feel regal. They make them feel expensive. It's all about how you really like, and that's my passion, to see that at the end, the hard work behind the scenes, but the rewarding of them, how they feel at the end is just everything. Some they're like crying, some they're like hugging constantly. That's my reward. That's what I love, and I think I will never stop to do what I do and I do this over 20. Oh my God, 24 years soon it'll be.
Man.
So it's a little bit of a, you know,
Well, I mean, you have such a vast array of clientele, right? And I mean, I'm sure the emotions you've had athletes, you have entertainers, musicians. Your dresses, your gowns have been featured at the Emmys. They've been featured at the Grammys. I remember a couple years ago, maybe it was last year, when you had a gown that was going to be worn by a ESPY award winner.
yeah, there
And I
was
know
short.
that you were going back and forth, I think, to Gainesville.
Yes, yeah,
So, people see these people wearing these gowns, but they don't realize the work that goes into
it is a hard
those
work.
people fitting into those gowns. Can you talk a little bit about the process of how they choose Inna Rudenko, they choose Inna's designs, and then from that, the start to the finish, what that looks like?
Yes, I would say for me is more about how amazing, and I'm a very humble person, but for me is the way how, these people with the all names, and they're also very humble, and they're I'm meeting, you know some people, they're very, Jenny Damon and Michelle Damon, they're like so humble, and they treat whatever you want, which one design, they trust me so much. And I'm not saying just only them, but Paula White, Porter's family.
Yeah.
I mean, all the people that the big names that I can, on and on go, but they always trust me with fully, like, and that's the beauty. And I'm like, I'm so humble and I'm so blessed about that, because they trust me with anything. Or is a color, or is a design, any sketch, I'm bringing them like six one, and which one is your favorite, this, and that's pretty much it. And they really, that's the beauty. And I feel like they trust me because not only what I bring as a item, but and also as how they make this, any design, it's filled with energy, an
Mm-hmm.
energy of, I would say, they make them feel beautiful, and I feel like in a unique, and all my designs are always unique. If somebody come to me and say I want that design, I will never make the same one. And that's what my customers feel, very unique and very loyal. And I know for sure I'm loyal as well too, just I will never create something that, so I honor that design is only them, so it's
Well, yeah, I
beautiful.
mean, you collaborate and do a lot. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's one or two fashion weeks that take place in Orlando. What do
Mhm.
the collaborations look like? I know you've done some stuff with the Four Seasons. I know you've done some stuff with the Ed Hotel. I mean, every time I'm looking online, there's Ina and there's Ina's designs, and you're collaborating with this person and that person. So the name is out there, right? And we'll speak a little bit later about some international stuff that you're going to be involved with. But I think that comes from not only the uniqueness of of what you provide, but just from a organic um, nature of the business. When people are talking about fashion, you got to talk to Ina before you move forward. That speaks a lot as to your brand and your value, and what you're able to deliver upon, right?
I would say most of it, and they choose me for. I feel like the quality, and like I'm not. I don't brag, but I also, there's
Well, if
no
you don't
one.
brag, I'm going to brag. So you might as well brag. You got the
That's.
opportunity today.
I would say there's no one yet in Orlando that will deliver um, the quality, not just only the stitching and how they put it together, but also the fabric combination all together.
Where
I
does
think
the
that is.
fabric? Sorry, but where does the fabric come from? I mean, I'm sure that's an important. Obviously, that's an important part of what you're creating, what you're designing.
Well, I would say I'm grateful. One part that I about me, I do speak six languages.
Oh, yes.
And because of that, I do have a lot of connection, and I can connect to the pretty much all over the world. And I have a lot of I have Latvia, UK, all the Europe, like where I can buy fabrics, Romania. It's just like so much variety, and I that's why my designs are looking different
Mm-hmm.
than any others, because I don't go shop and local stores. I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
not.
yeah, yeah.
Comes to that, like really searching good fabrics, good qualities, that there's something or exclusive fabrics, and Sometimes they're more expensive, but sometimes people are saying, "Oh, if it's from Europe, it'll be much expensive." And I'm like, "No, it's not necessary." And I'm like, and I'm happy that they trust me sometimes with that, because it's like literally what you get here and what you get from Europe is
Mm-hmm.
totally different and unique, and can cost much lower price than, yeah, you can wait a little bit, but you get the right one.
Well, I'm sure. Well, and I know you don't like to brag, but I would think pricing sometimes may or may not be the most important piece of the puzzle when people are finding you. They just want quality,
Yes.
right? Which is you've built your business to that level, and they just trust that you're going to provide them with a suit, dress, gown, whatever they're looking for. And like you said earlier, here's 6 designs, you choose. And then you go from maybe they buy all 6, who knows? Or maybe they want all 6.
I happen that too.
Right? That happens, right? That
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
But you do a lot of stuff and you collaborate and you work with your community. I know that you have some big stuff coming
Yes.
in the future.
Yes.
You want to talk about some of the collaborations and some of the next things that you're going to be working on, because it's pretty big.
Oh, yes, yes. The first one, I'm very excited, and we're putting together, of course, I will say this amazing woman that I respect, and it's amazing. I think opportunity for both of us. We're in a very like level that can bring something amazing. She's the owner of the Orlando Fashion Week.
Wow.
She putting all this beautiful the Four Seasons, all the fashion show that the most high end in Orlando is behind her. It's her.
Okay.
It's her.
That's
And her
huge.
name
Yeah,
is
that's great.
Narush. Yeah, she's very creative. I mean, it's amazing to work with this kind of people that they're really the level of their work speaks, for themselves. They're everything behind of what you put it together is just amazing. So I'm very proud to be part of this organization. Always I'm part of her, fashion shows. She put very luxury level that I think Orlando is not yet see it, and I think it's a only start. So I'm collaborating, putting a collection with her.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I feel like very to bring her style. She's Lebanese and me European. I think the style that we put in together would be like blown mind. I feel like
So you're
that was a
collaborating
good-
on the type of material and the
everything.
everything.
We're doing everything from scratch. Everything we're sketching. We're putting together fabrics. We're printing on fabric. We do our own
You say
print.
what does that mean?
So we are making our own fabric and
Oh.
print.
Oh,
Yeah, you
here
need.
locally you do that, or is it?
I mean, I have leads, but
Oh.
we do.
Okay, I got it. I see.
No,
On a need to know basis. I see.
Orlando, it's hard to really
Yeah.
do something because Orlando is kind of a little very. We are open for options in out of the Orlando, so that's good thing about that we have.
Where does
leads.
Orlando fit into the fashion world?
I
mean,
think
are
it's
they
getting
up and
better.
coming?
Oh, absolutely goes. Now I think Orlando, a lot of clients moved from Spain. I see it a lot of them, like Spain, California. And I feel like it's more and more fashion going to, and I'm like, I'm so happy because I'm going to the store. I'm like, oh, I see a little more fashion now.
Okay.
For me, moving to United States into 2012, it was a little tough. I was like, because we're in Europe, we're like going to stores and buy bread and heels.
Right. Everything's an
that's-
occasion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're more showing ourselves in the way that in its feminine part. Like I feel like that's for me was scary because I'm very creative, very feminine, and for me to not see that, I was like, I was
Yeah.
losing my breath. But now I see it more women dressing, men more dressing, not only shorts. So like that.
Well, it's great to see. I mean, listen, it is feminine, and it's sexy to see a woman dress up. Let's just say go to the store. You don't. I mean, everything doesn't need to be an occasion, but when it is, it's nice to see a woman wanting to be a woman, right?
For men's eyes, I think that is a really good now. They see in more beauty.
Yeah. No,
That
right.
is a good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I feel like for young generation to see more of fashion and more feminine and more how to project themselves in a better way and more of creating, that natural beauty. This trend right now that is going, it's amazing. I think that is a beautiful part that I think we evolve as Orlando, not just on flip
Well, and
flops.
Orlando's becoming more of a melting pot, right? I mean, you got, like you said, you got people from Brazil, you got people from Korea. I mean, you have people from all walks of life that they are involved in fashion and they want to see the fashion.
Yeah.
But from when you say you see fashion, is it just from a brand standpoint that you recognize fashion? That's why you say I see fashion. What is it that makes you say, "Oh, I go to the store now and I see fashion"? Is it just from the way people are dressing, or is it just what you see in the stores being offered? What does that mean?
Well, I would say probably the sad part is, of course, more people from the fashion point started here after COVID. COVID bring a lot of people moved from California and a lot of states that were New York. It was always dressing, right? So I feel like they bring a lot of more culture of the fashion, and also having people creative like Naruj. She did bring a lot higher end fashion shows in Orlando, which is give a lot more stimulation for fashion designers, for fashion to see it more. Collaboration with like Jackie Siegel, we did also like at Four Seasons, we did collaboration, and I did my design show and in her purses that she shows more of her designs more locally, and that is beautiful. I think Orlando starts seeing more high-end fashion.
Are there because obviously with some of this fashion you need to have a showcase, you need to have models to showcase what you're putting together. Is Orlando a good is there a good pool of models to choose from to showcase the gowns and other type of things that you're putting together?
It's getting better. I would say it's getting better, but a lot of models, and I'm happy that we're going to that level, because usually Tampa had the best ones.
Tampa,
believe it or not.
even better than Miami?
I mean, because
Miami's different?
Miami, it's a little different. There's like more swimsuits and all of that, but Tampa had a really like high-end models, and I feel like they're always traveling to us. And that is a beauty. But I feel like all the fashion shows that there were being so much of fashion more and more fashions productions, I'll say. They're more inspire models to be better, work out, be high level.
Okay.
That's all that brings to that level, I think,
Okay. So the collaboration with Naru's, when is Orlando Fashion Week, and when will you be able to unveil? Would everything just be unveiled at a particular day or night or event, or how does that? Or are you allowed to announce it?
So it's an International Fashion Week. So it will be in June. The starts will be like that's the biggest. This is where collection will be shown. And then the second collaboration I do is a Turkish company, which are luxuries yachts, and I do collection for their. It's a yacht wear clothing. So I started doing work on them for like over a year, and their name is Tuhe, which is.
How do you spell that? Just so that if people want to look it up, how do you spell?
It's Tyuh.
Okay. Okay, I have to look that up. I did see the boat that you posted online, so that intrigued me. Just seeing the boat and the type of boat.
I'm about to post a really nice video
with
the boat.
Okay. Are you gonna get to take a ride on that boat when you go?
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, wow, amazing.
And my girlfriend Mackenzie, she will be with me on that. She supports me.
And she's one of your models too, right, Mackenzie?
She's my top model. Supermodel. Yes.
Absolutely, very cool.
Yeah. So I'm excited for what is waiting for us.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but is that all part of kind of an international week as well in Milan. Is that something that you're working on as well, or is
So
that?
yes, my collection is supposed to be, but because I have so many collaboration, it's hard for me to literally like divide myself in three
Yeah.
because now I'm representing so many and collaboration that we do Inna's design together, and two hit collection will be represented at New York, Miami Fashion Week, and then we going to Milan together. Like we're going strong. Like
So this is a
yeah,
big year.
it's a very big year for me. Yes.
Wow. Well, I'm glad we have found time for you today, because I mean, the rest of the year and into the future, who knows what the availability is going to look like for Inna
I'm a
Rudenko.
humble girl.
I know. Your career is really taking off, but I know a couple of years ago you kind of found, and I hate to use the word stumbled, but you found a family member that you didn't even really know existed,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Oh, it's a beautiful
It's a
story.
beautiful story. So I'd love for you to talk about your sister and how that came to be and how you were able to go and visit and hang out for almost a month. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It's a pleasure for me because I kind of I was so shocked that all my customers they're like, it's not you. I was like for 2 months I was so shocked. So I find out that I from my mom's side it was a very a sad story, but I find out that I have a sister. She's 15 years older than me. And believe it or not, I was watching her on TV all my life. She's a very famous singer. Her name is Larissa Busuyok. And I find out that she's my sister. And I grow up, I know her like forever.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah, it's just a story that is something. And as soon as we find out about each other, we find our hearts to be like, you know, it's like we're always like beating on the same. Like it's just never was never. I never felt like we left or lost so much time. There was
It
no
was like
that
there was never a gap.
never a gap. Like it was never that distance between
Mm.
us, and there's like undevoting like truly love for each other, and I feel like we are always connected in a way that supporting each other and always rooting now. And I see all the time, how she's always there. I feel like she's always there, and always when she calls me she's like, I'm so proud of you, I'm so proud of you. And we did she also, when she found out about me, we did she talked about me in a very big the biggest channel in Europe, 2 hours talk about me.
Wow.
It was a big,
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yeah,
huge.
yeah. It was nice.
So talk about that time when you it was like time. There was no gap in time, but when you saw each other and hung out together, what was the? And now you obviously it sounds like you continue to communicate with
Yeah.
each other,
Hmm.
right? What was the kind of the first communication you had in person when you saw each other? That had to have
So
been quite
yeah,
an amazing time, right?
first time I went there in 2022. I go visit her, and um, I feel like we could not stop hugging. That was at first we couldn't stop hugging. It was just like, and she's like, I was emotional, about to cry. She's like, if you start crying, I'll start crying. So let's we gotta go and catch up. That's
Yeah.
and we are like have that connection that I never felt that was just a gap, never. And she was all the family from her side, they actually like so warm to me. Like it was such a
It made you
amazing
feel welcoming.
feel,
Yeah.
welcoming, that I never felt any like I'm not
Any nervousness or
no,
yeah,
that I make me
it's all
feel that
natural.
natural, that I was part of the family. And I'm so grateful. All the kids, they're like, I'm a young aunt, kind of like they always, look at me. But I was like, man, I'm a young aunt. It's like
Yeah.
it was so funny.
Yeah.
Even though my daughter is much older than her kids, it's just unbelievable. My daughter will be in April 24, and I can't believe it.
I know. The first time I met you guys, I thought you were sisters.
I know everybody have that shock.
Like, that's your mom? Okay. All right.
Yes.
And that, that was kind of interesting. We met at Topgolf,
Yeah.
and I think you dabble in golf a little bit, right? You like to get out there and relax a little bit on the golf course.
I do like it that. Yeah, sometimes I do that.
Do you? I mean, outside of, because you probably don't have a whole lot of time outside the fashion industry. I mean, with all the collaborations and
Right now,
clientele. I mean, what other hobbies do you have outside of just working? Because I know you work a lot.
well, I do like to take care of myself, like in a way, ground myself, like take out there, be by the beach or hiking. I do kayaking. I mean, I do things like makes me happy and ground, and where I can get inspiration from. Traveling. I love traveling too. That's my traveling is just something that I wish it will be, but after hard work, I'm sure I will get back to my traveling.
Well, I mean, obviously you've worked hard to get where you are today. Can you talk about some of the relationships, friendships, partnerships, and people you can point back to and say, man, without them, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yes.
Maybe talk about how important they have been to you
Yes.
along this career path.
It's like a story of a movie. It's a story like a movie because um, I became a stylist, a full like designer for this family, Porters, and they did literally treat me as a daughter. Like they treated me as a daughter. They helped me to buy my first building for the business. They helped me to. I was going through hard time with the divorce. They just got me out of their wing and just really it's like a movie that give them like this kind of people. We need this in the world. Like they give not just only opportunities but also look at.
They're very protective of you too, right? As a
Yes.
daughter,
Yes, yes.
quote daughter, right? I've seen that firsthand. They want to make sure that you're protected
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that people from the outside aren't coming in
yes.
trying to do any harm to
They're
their
really.
Inna Rudenko, right?
I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed. That They're really a blessing to me. I can say how grateful I am every day. I will say almost every day. Like I can't stop saying thank you because it's like a really, not just only opportunity, a better future, but we need people like that because people who's coming. I came in the United States with $35 in a pocket, a single mom. My daughter was 11, and I was like, there's no one there. Like I couldn't, and it was scary for me because I do give a good example to my daughter, and opportunity they give me, it's precious.
So the support was huge for you.
Yeah, the support was huge. And I'll say that I did work also before even meeting them. I meet them in a part where I was already kind of established as well too a little bit because I work from 8 in the morning to next day 8 in the morning. Yeah. I had days like there's 7 days a week. There was no stop. I did work hard. Now I'm like I step in my also part where I wanted to create more, not just only work, 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 but more create amazing things. Amazing that makes not just only women. I do men's too, men's suits and men's shirts and everything. It
Yeah.
makes them. I want to make them feel unique and something that you out of the box, like something that you can create that it's not that you can buy in a store and people are just like, oh, I just wanted that. I don't know if it's possible. You can create anything in this life. Like
Absolutely.
anything out of the box. Think of out of the box.
Well, and that support has been big for you. And I can just speak personally from a friend of mine that has a daughter, Amanda DeCastro, and her mom reached out and was telling me about how her daughter's studying fashion I think it's the Savannah School for the
Yeah.
Arts. I think
Yeah.
SCAD, but I'm probably not saying it correctly. But just wanted to know if I knew of anybody in the fashion industry, and I said, yeah, well, my friend Nina, and just made an introduction. And the next thing I knew, she was helping you, working for you, modeling for you, and just really was thankful for the experience and learned a ton from you. And now she's, I mean, you did a lot for her in bringing her on board.
Well, I would say mentoring a good heart is as well, like, like Porter showed me as well, an example that not only family helps you, but people that they're maybe not a family, but help you even more. And it's an example. And I, as well, that's what I do a lot for community too. When I say, and I want it, when I have the opportunity and I wanted more to do for community, and if I have that possibility to do, I'm blessed. So more in time, I want to do more and more for community.
Well, you practice what you preach. I see it firsthand. And I know. So, if anybody, can you just talk? I mean, obviously, you do some grandiose type of amazing collaborations and things like that. But you do, and you help prepare amazing wedding gowns, right?
Yeah.
So that's still a big part of what you do. So, if anybody's listening that's thinking about getting married and they're looking for a wedding gown, that you don't mind if they might take a little while to get it done, so they need a plan, right? Because you're so busy.
Year. We
right?
need a year.
You need a year.
Yeah.
And they can just reach out and find you at Inna's Designs, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, how else can people work with you or collaborate with you if they're looking to work with Inna's Designs? Because I'm sure there are others, but I haven't heard of any other fashion studios or design studios that do quite with like what you do.
I mean, I'm very selective, I would say.
As you should be.
And also not just as selective, but I also, I'm spiritual as well and a Christian, and I'm very protective of what I do and how I do. So for me, it's like I always go with my heart as well too, but with me to work, it's just you have to just reach out and see what if it's something for good and it's a good cause, I'm always in.
Certainly I appreciate your time today. One thing that you could say to the people watching, what advice would you give? I mean, to aspiring fashion professionals that are looking to do what you're doing, and you've been a trailblazer. And what would you say to them that want to be involved in the fashion industry, that are just getting started or may have been in it for a while and may have faced a few roadblocks and be like, oh man, I don't know if this is for me or not?
If I will start going there, it will be another 30 minutes, but I will try short.
Okay.
Because what happened is Orlando or United States, I will go from perspective of European designer, and I start European designer first, and then I come here 12 years ago. One part that I learned United States is like they go into college, they learn 4 or 5 years with the master's, whatever, 4 years at least in the fashion, and they coming out and they literally they don't know anything about the fashion. They don't know. They maybe know how to sketch, but they don't know how to put it together. Okay. Because that is the biggest problem of fashion designers. They cannot get a job right after as a fashion designer to get the experience and in the fashion industry. Because soon as you don't work on that, the fashion and the sewing, it literally if you 2 years don't sew, you forget about. It's a very thin line between like you have to do the experience like going and going. As soon as it's broken, you have to start from the again.
It's kind of like a language. If you don't practice it, you're going to forget it.
Same thing. Yeah. So I always say this: if you find a way to find a mentor, work under a mentor, that will be the best for you, the best investment. It's hard to find in Orlando, I would say, but if you go like other states and you find a designer that will take you under their wing, it's the best. Or if you have money, go Europe, do the school in Europe. There's no way you can get it better. Anybody who's coming out of the fashion school in Europe,
they can kind of create their own path.
it just like you are in the, like they're really right away sewing suits, dresses, and everything. Here, I I went to fashion school and college, and I like I will fire. I mean, I would like to hire you for full time, and then I'm like, hey, just put a zigzag here, and she's like, what is that? I was like, oh, okay, well. 4 years was just
A waste of time.
waste of time. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And
Oh man.
yeah, so I will say best thing, Europe or a mentor. So, and never give up. Work hard and never give up. It pays off at the end.
That seems to be a consistent theme. Well, I think next time that we're doing this podcast, I'm going to be wearing an Inna design. I'm going to be wearing an Inna Rudenko
You
design.
better do. You better.
So whether it's a shirt, suit, whatever, I'm going to be wearing an Inna design. Okay, how about that? So, Inna, thank you so much. I appreciate your time today.